1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
$3 Want to know how you can move that money from your mind into your hands? Subscribe as an MMG agent today and earn 4.5% commission on every transaction. Multiple streams of income, MMG got you. Subscribe today. Live life easy. Looking for convenience? Want to pay your bills from the comfort of your home? Want to use a commonsensical approach to paying bills? Then MMG is the one for you. Pay your bills from the comfort of your home by simply becoming registered with MMG. And you can pay your light bill, your phone bill, your water bill, anything that you want to be paid can be paid via MMG. MMG, making your life easy. Welcome to Common Sense, and tonight we are officially on Gordon Mosley's Facebook page, New Source Guyana, on Facebook and YouTube. And I want to say thank you very much to Mr. Mosley for affording us the opportunity to be here tonight on his very large platform. And just in case you may not be viewing Common Sense for the first time, it's basically a financial literacy podcast that is dedicated to teaching our young people financial and business principles in a very cool and youth-friendly environment. And we've been rocking since September 2021, and we continue to get stronger and bigger. And this is just another stepping stone to what we ultimately want to achieve, which is ensuring that our young people are financially educated and liberated. And tonight, I know many of our episodes focus on what life is like in the executive lounges and as CEOs and the suit and ties and professionals, but there's still a whole other grouping of people that are still successful, but may not be in the suit and ties, the traditional suit and ties and so forth. And there are some critical lessons that you can learn from the streets. And tonight's episode is titled Street Codes, Business Lessons from the Streets. And with me is a man that has become very successful coming up from the streets. He is well known to everyone in Guyana, holds many different hats, but we know him as Marlon Jacobs, some of them as Freedom Boss, and some of them as the GOAT. And I want to welcome you tonight to Common Sense. Thank you very much for being here.
Yes.
We can't wait to hear what you have to say tonight.
I wear suit and tie sometimes.
One thing is important, you gotta know the code switch.
You gotta dress to the occasion.
Definitely. Marlon Jacobs, we know you from social media. Most of us know you from social media, but can you tell us a bit about who exactly is Marlon Jacobs?
Marlon Jacobs is a father. Marlon Jacobs is a hustler, entrepreneur. Marlon Jacobs is Marlon Jacobs at all times. You know, I don't pretend to be somebody else. I don't pretend to be nothing that I'm So what you see is what you get. But when it comes to business, marketing is a serious force because you can't play with it. Yeah, so I would say that's marketing in a nutshell.
Before we get
So marketing is an entity.
Before we get deep into the conversation, I think it's important for persons to know where you came from. Can you share a bit about your upbringing and what life was like during your young days?
I have a very interesting upbringing because I was brought up without both parents. They migrated. One was in the US, one was in Barbados. So I grew up with Granny, my aunt, her husband. They are the ones that really teach me everything that I know right now. I remember my uncle. He had so much morals that sometimes I can't eat until I do my homework because they wanted a future for me that I couldn't even imagine having that future without them. So a lot of times I wake up and I show a lot of gratitude on Facebook towards the people that helped raise me because they did a hell of a job. And I'm proud of the person that I've become. I'm sure they're proud of who I am. They probably didn't want me to become a promoter, but at least I'm still doing something with my life. And sometimes you can't choose the path for your kids, or as a guardian, you can't choose the path that you want for a kid. But sometimes you gotta just let that kid grow and be their own person. And they brought me to a level to where I went to St. Joseph High School. I migrated to the US when I was 14. And when I left Ghana, I still had some of the teachings that they taught me, some of the discipline that, education is important. So I went on to college and now I'm here.
I think that's very impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you went to college.
Oh, wow.
Right? But it's important that you've laid your own path and you've set your own foundation. And I think those principles, though it might not be, you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, but you chose your own path, you're still successful, you're still doing things legally at the end of the day.
So your life become easier when you find your purpose, actually. And I feel like, since I've been going to St. Joseph and since I knew myself, I've always been like an entertainer. It was just time for me to really take it serious.
How long have you been, would you consider yourself a businessman?
I've been in business a long time. I've been in business a long time. Like even when I was in school, I was in business.
Selling pens and juice.
Let me see what I sell when I was in school. Sell a lot of things. Print a lot of raffle. But just providing has always been like top priority for me because I am not like a dependent person. I like to be very independent and I like to get it on my own regardless of how difficult it may seem. I like the feeling after when you achieve something and you're like, that was So sometimes you see freedom take the long way or the hard way. It's just for the truth.
Now, there's a popular song. I first heard this song during the onset of the pandemic. I'm a big Biggie fan, but I just don't know how I never heard that one. And actually when I started Common Sense, I had like now 10 episodes that I wanted to do in my first season, and this one was one of them, but I never got a chance to do it up until now. And of course everything happens in the right time, but
nothing happens.
there's a song called 10 Crack Commandments. And disclaimer, I'm not promoting the use of drugs or anything like that, but I believe that you can learn from some unlikely sources. I think There are lots of principles that you can pull out from that song. Though the song was a song about the drug trade, which Biggie was involved in his younger days before he became an entertainer.
Right.
There's still some lessons that can be gathered for life and for business. And he sang about 10 commandments. We're not going to get into all 10 tonight, but I want to touch on at least 5 of them that I believe are very critical in a Guyanese context and for life and business in general. Right? The very first commandment that he touched on, he says, rule number uno, never let no one know how much dough you hold. The cheddar breeds jealousy. Basically saying, never let people know how much money you make.
Right.
In your experience in business and even being successful, I've listened to some of your songs, and one of the common themes you speak about is your success leading to persons being jealous or envious. How has that part been for you in business? And how do you deal with people around you that may be jealous or envious?
I feel like this is like a new phase in my life because the way I've been brought up, I always show up, regardless if you have more than me, less than me. I'm always happy for people, but lately, I've become like more and more conscious that freedom is not a regular person. There are people that's jealous. There are people that's envious. There are people that is trying to stop you for whatever reason. So, like, for a good while, I never really focused on who is envious towards me because it wasn't a thought that I had towards anyone. You understand? But an incident happened where my mom was trapped in Brooklyn the other day after my biggest event in New York, Drinkside Soca, and I feel like the people around me, they're aware of how much money that event made, and that's what caused that incident to happen. Ways to avoid that, I don't know how you could avoid that when you become successful, and
I think it comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. So it's just learning a lesson for me also because it made me realize that I need to have more security. I need to take my business more seriously. And, I'm more, what should I say? I'm more focused now. So I feel like it was something that was meant to happen as an eye-opener. So I think sometimes you need certain types of mishap to just open your eyes and make you realize, okay, we gotta tighten up the thing and do the right thing. So, yeah.
There's a line from a Lil Wayne song that says, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah.
Has that experience taught you to be a bit more silent about your financial fortunes and success?
No, I've always been silent about what I earn because I don't feel like that's anyone's business.
Sure.
But at the same time, when you have young promoters coming up, you have people that's looking up to you. Sometimes teaching them is also exposing your personal audience because people call me for advice all the time and I would tell them, this don't make money, that don't make money, you could make this much from this if you do this. You understand?
Yeah.
So a lot of times just teaching people the business puts you at risk as well. Yeah.
And have you found any way, or is there any way that you can possibly reduce the amount of jealous people you attract? Do you think that's something that's possible?
In entertainment, a lot of people go say, you gotta keep a small circle, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But entertainment is different because entertainment is for the people. You're trying to attract people, right? You're networking, you're meeting people, new people every day, you have potential. People that's gonna come and support your party. So just having a friendly face, being social, makes it hard for you to even consider having a small circle because you need a circle, especially in promotion, to make things happen. You understand? But it's just that you need to know your circle now. Like everybody, you gotta know them as individuals, basically. So you know what this one is capable of, you know what this one is capable of, and you don't judge everybody the same, right? So I've done that with my team over the past couple months. I did some reading out. I know who to trust a little bit, who not to trust at all. So I feel it's just different ways to move.
Do you have like close friends that you discuss business with, and then you have another set that you make party with, or another set that you're gonna play a game, whatever it is? Do you like have different groupings of friends, or
There's some friends that I would never do business with at all, but we force no friends. And there's friends that's very business oriented that I would tell them about investments, and we probably might never party or never drink or never hang out, but those are the people that I would go to when it comes to business.
the second rule that I spoke about, and as someone into events, and myself now starting out into doing a few events myself, and getting into more of the public limelight. Has there been any case where you may have had an idea and you confided in someone, and next few mornings you wake up and you see somebody else copy yourself?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Sometimes it's not even that they copy it. It's sometimes like when you're creative, you're not the only creative person. There's other people creating, so there's other people that's thinking just like you. So many times I told friends, of a concept that I had, and they did it. And I supported it same way because if I were to do it, there's certain things that I would have done different or add to it. But sometimes great minds think alike. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I've seen and noticed in Ghana is that when somebody starts a business here, it's like 10 other people that's close to them start the same business. And I think that happens like when you tell your friend, you know what, I've been selling clothes and I make 100,000 off of this clothes. Then you open your friend eyes to that business as well, and they try to. And then the whole competition starts between you and your friends. So I think that's something that's been happening in Ghana for some time.
For me, there's a pet peeve of mine because it's like a cake shop mentality. I think I touched on this before. You look at the community and you look at the shopping community.
Yeah.
Soon as the neighbor see that you're doing well, they want to open a shop right next to you. And the next man, he's going to go open one. And 3 shops serving one community.
Yeah.
There's only so much bread that can be passed around in that community. And before you know it, nobody's making money because the profits are being split among 3. Now, I don't mind being inspirational and inspiring you to open a business.
Yeah, but sell something different,
Yeah, or do it in a different location or something,
Bro, listen to me. Entertainment across the world is an industry, except in Ghana, because I've worked with the big training promoters in New York, the Jamaicans, the Grenadians, big feds, and they will have like a single person that they will call for ice, right? And that's that person business. You understand? They got a single person they will call for hookup, decor, right? And that's that person business. But within our Guyanese community, there's like 100 different people you could call to do the same service. And a lot of times, people that doesn't understand business, carry feelings, so to speak, because they feel like you and them are friends, you're supposed to work with them. or because you and them go together, you're sourcing it. But they don't understand that that's not how the business should be, you know, especially if we're going to call it an industry. Everybody's supposed to be aligned and know, like, this is what we bring to the table.
And when you get into business, profits is everybody wants to be profitable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have a friend that is doing a hookah business and another man that you don't know, but he's offering it to you at a significantly lesser cost than your friend is asking. And
Yeah.
you might go with the other man and your friend might carry feelings thinking that, oh, you're not supporting me. But it's not that, it's business at the end of the day. I want to minimize my costs
Right.
and maximize my profits. Right? And I think that's something that's very prevalent in Guyana. And business, you can't carry feelings in business.
Yeah.
Right?
It's take a while before you understand that, though. You know, like you gotta be really into business to understand that nothing is personal.
Nothing is personal. And I think this perfectly leads into one of the other points that you made on the song. Don't mix business with pleasure. And he spoke about how even your own mother might set you up for failure after she sees you becoming successful. Obviously, he wasn't literally talking about his mother, but he's giving you people close to you. Once they see you start attaining a certain level of success, they themselves might lay roadblocks in your path to cripple you. Right? How do you, personally, I should ask, do you do business with friends and family? And how do you navigate those relationships?
I feel like within this area of business, I don't have any other relative that does promotion. So I don't like when I'm with my family, it's with my family. We don't talk about parties, we don't talk about business. Friends, I have a lot of friends that does promotion, right? But you know, sometimes I try to teach them this same commandment that you tell me about, that you cannot mix business with pleasure, always on the rules. Because this is something that I've experienced, mixing business with pleasure. Like in the initial stages of doing promotion, I made a lot of mistakes that I had to learn from. Eventually,
if you don't mind, do you mind sharing one of those, like a practical one for persons who may be young in the industry or young in business watching, so that they don't make the same mistakes that you would have?
In terms of promotion, when I was younger, I drank a lot. Right? Like I would have a party, and I would basically drink out my profit. You understand? So to avoid that, I don't drink anymore. You understand? Occasionally I would drink, but it's just I had to discipline myself. Not specifically keep partying, you can't drink, but that's not it. That's like, to me, getting high off your own supply, because I'm supplying drinks. I don't see why I should be drinking more than who is supposed to be. So that's one mistake I've made. As a young promoter, I drank a lot.
That's a beautiful example, because it shows that you're accountable. You saw your own mistakes and you made a conscious choice to correct it. I think getting back to the friends and the business and the family. Sometimes when you contract your friend to do a job, they may not treat it with the same level of seriousness and respect that they would have if it was another person from the public. I don't know if you've ever had any experience.
I've had.
You got a photographer friend that you hire for your show, and he walks in an hour after you're supposed to come, and
Yeah.
You think you could just fall in?
I've been going through this for a minute now, but what I've learned over time is that, friend is friend, business is business. These days, I'm booking the professionals to do the job because they're gonna come there with our seriousness. And then sometimes what happens is that I did business with some of these people so many times that they become my friend, and then they start getting too comfortable. Yeah, so that's I had to actually take a step back after the incident last summer because I was very comfortable with my team. Though they would show up late, they won't do what they were supposed to do. I was still comfortable with them because I know eventually the job is gonna get done. But the level that I am on right now, I can't afford that anymore. You know what I mean? So that's one of the changes that I've made to hire professionals to the job, and just if your friends want to party, let they party and do the thing. But if you're gonna hire your friend and your friend gonna come 5 hours after the party, you're gonna have issues.
Does those bad business arrangements ever affect the friendship?
Yeah, it does affect the friendship because a lot of times they don't see it from your perspective. You understand? Until they themselves try to do something. Sometimes they would come back to me and say, Freedom, I know see you're showing me by. You know what I mean? These people you can't depend on them. So sometimes people is gotta go through these experiences personally to actually see where you come from. You know what I mean? Sometimes they gotta invest their own money and take a loss to understand how much you value your money. You understand? So, that's basically it.
Beautiful. Just in case you're now tuning in, we have with me tonight the GOAT, Freedom Boss Man Jacobs, and we are discussing business lessons from the streets. And we are on News Source Guyana on Facebook and YouTube. And you can also check us out on God Moses' Facebook page. For those who like listening to audio versions of the podcast, it's available on Spotify and Digicel's Rollout app, as well as Anchor FM, just like in Common Sense. And if you don't have the time to watch, you can always listen. And as we continue our conversation, you started to hit me just now when you mentioned never getting high off your own supply.
Yeah.
Which is rule number 4. And that statement can be taken from a few angles. The first one that I want to touch on is remaining humble after you achieve a certain level of success. Because sometimes forgetting where you came from, forgetting your groundings, you feel as though you arrived, you're a big boy now. You can show up whenever you want, you can do what you want, you can talk to people you want, you feel as though you're a big thing. How have you managed to remain grounded and humble despite your level of success?
I never felt like I ran. Right? Like every promotion, I deal with it like a newcomer. Like I have something to do. Because since I started out in college, 2010, and I can look back and see the growth. You understand? But at the same time, there's no big changes in me towards my brand or bragging and saying Freedom is the best or not. Because things change. People change, and a lot of things could go left. So every promotion I deal with it, like it's my first promotion, and nobody don't know me. You understand? Because if you, most of my events are promoted on social media. I've had people write me already and say, Freedom, why you still putting up posters in the streets, use Freedom? Yes, I let them know I'm Freedom, yes, but I still let people know what's going on. This is my way of doing things. You understand? So remaining humble is a major key for me, because when you're humble, you gain the trust of your team. You're easy to work with, right? People remember you for your humbleness because there's people that work with me one time, and that's the last time because they weren't too humble, and that's something that people remember. People always remember how you treat them, right? So I've always tried to maintain that humbleness, maintain that, I'm not better than anyone, maintain that at any point, some youth could come and take my spot. Understand? So, just having something to prove every event and try to grow. That kept me grounded, honestly.
How do you maintain that fire? I know despite your humility, there's still a competitive spirit within you. So want to be the best at what you do. How do you navigate that? Want to be the best while also remaining grounded?
Becoming the best.
Or is that even a want for you? To be the best in the industry?
I don't want to be the best. I just want to be relevant. I just want to do my part because I can't keep a party every day. I can't keep a party every month. There's always room for somebody else to do something. There's always room to learn from it.
You mentioned something about the overheads, profits. And many young people that are watching that may not even know what are profits. They might look at the show, see 10,000 people there and think the show sell off. I mean, it might sell off in terms of the attendance.
But to break even, you need 9,000 people. And so the profit is coming from 1,000 people.
What is break even?
Your investment in everything you do business wise is an investment, and you must have a budget. Sometimes you when you break even, that's when you have when you get back your money that you invest.
And I want to go a bit deeper in terms of how you do your planning and profits and so forth. How many months of planning goes into an event? How much time? Because
for a really good event, 3 months, 90 days. And 90-day promotion.
Do you always do a budget before every event? You list your expenses.
Yeah.
Because I want to get into these practical things because people are watching and they think you could just wake up and it's true event. There's no budget, there's nothing, they don't know how much they have to make a profit. So I want you to share a bit more light on how you go about preparing your budget for your events.
Alright, so first thing you need to know is the type of event you're going to do. When you know the type of event you're going to do, whether it's a soap party, whether it's a true whether it's an artist, whether it's a birthday party, you gotta know what type of event it is and who are the people this event is gonna attract. Right? So when I do a soca event, I'm looking to attract the youths, because no 60-year-old is coming to a soca party to generate.
Pause 1 second for me. Now, what you just talked about is the demographics and demographics. So there's an important principle in the fact that you know who you're targeting, and that informs everything else that you're going to do.
Yeah, so how many people you catering for? It's very important because that determines the magnitude of the event and also how much you're going to spend. Because you can't spend $100,000 for an event that's going to attract 1,000 people. Right? So how many people you're planning to accommodate at this event? Very important. Sometimes when I do an event outdoor, I'm like, I'm catering for 5,000 people. The timings has to be on point. If it's a holiday weekend, then you stand a better chance because everybody's home, nobody's working. People want to be outside on a holiday weekend. So that would be a plus for a promotion. The timings is very, very important because you could invest all your money, $10 million on the body, on a body, and a promoter invest $5 million on the next weekend, and that is the weekend that everybody choose to watch. So timings is always critical to promotion. Next thing, you gotta have a budget for advertisement, guys. Advertising is very important. Branding, equally important, because like branding for me is like miniature. You know, once I put something out there, I don't even put my name on it sometimes, but my brand stands out so much that people know that the thing on it is upcoming. That's Freedom Media. You understand? So I don't even have to mention my name at this point. But 10 years ago, I couldn't do that. You understand? Because I was now entering the game, now making a name for myself. So I am at a level where I don't even have to put my name on it for people to know that it's my brand. And next thing, venue. Venue is very important because you gotta know when you decide the magnitude of the event, then you're gonna know which venue is suitable to accommodate the amount of people that you're looking for. What else? Sponsors is very important. I've done it basically with no sponsors, right? Because everything that I do is like literally sacrificing, you know, because securing sponsors, I don't know, but that's like the hardest part for me. I don't know why, but I'm so dedicated to doing what I have to do and playing my part that, you know, I make the sacrifice and just do it. Other people have been fortunate to secure sponsors that cover the entire way, you understand? So, yeah. Another thing, I can't think of anything else.
Ticket price.
Ticket prices. Well, based on your demographics, who you're targeting, you would set your price. If it's a big event, you're attracting 3,000-4,000 people, then I feel like your tickets prices should be affordable for, you know, the average man. But if it's a private, like a more of an intimate event, a club event where you're just targeting your friends and family, I feel like you could set a price where it's comfortable with people that you basically know, you know. So yeah.
So there's a lot of strategy that goes into everything. So as simple as setting a day for the event, it's a strategic choice.
Yeah.
Because you want to set a day that most people are free, whether it be on the holiday weekend or Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is.
Yeah. Another thing that I've done, and like basically elders teach me that, right? They told me like annual events. Do your stuff annually and not just like any wild thing just because you're free and you pop up with an event the next week. So most of my events have become annual events that people look forward to annually. That helps with the promotion because people always remember where they went a year ago, 2 years ago, you know? And that basically help you like 100% with your branding as well because people become familiar with the brand.
On the theme of branding and marketing, I think you probably have the most unique marketing strategy of
What is that?
any company or any business in Guyana because as soon as you wake up and you scroll Facebook, there's a post from Marlon, walk on and just wake up, I want down and buy some calorie, and then something about the event at the end. I think first it's very inexpensive.
Yeah.
There's no monetary cost.
No, it's very expensive. It's very expensive.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the brain power to do it.
And that's nice.
So it's hard. Like it looks easy, but it's really hard. Like some days I wake up and I like, what I'm talking about today. you know. But for me, it comes naturally because that is my personality. That's the way how I would speak literally. So it comes naturally to me. So another thing, what works for me might not work for you. You understand? Everybody is getting their own thing that works for them. But once you find your niche, I feel like you should capitalize on it.
But how big is the marketing to you?
Those statuses I post,
Marketing in general.
marketing is very
Because there are a lot of businesses that in Guyana that have very good products and services, but nobody knows about them because for some reason they want to remain under a bushel.
Honestly, I spend more money on marketing than anything else. Yeah. I feel like if people know about your product, they're gonna support it regardless. You know, so if you wake up on Facebook, you see Freedom Bonds flying like 10 times a day. And that's just my strategy because when Facebook started, everybody was posting jokes, everybody was posting with friends, I was posting flying. Because I was in college at the time and I thought like, you know, this could help me promote the party. You understand? So at one point, my flyer was on people that I'm not even friends with. Because I started collecting, like, if you're close to me, I collect your Facebook password and I send it on to people and see your friends. You understand? And that has helped me tremendously in my initial stages. Like, everybody was wondering, like, how come we get to post all the time? And, you know, I think that was my turning point.
Do you remember sometimes when I check out my Facebook memories, I see some posts from the young one.
Yeah. And you know, like, I'm like, wake up in the morning and see 5,000 notifications. You know, Facebook was back in the day. He said, why you run me page last night? It's just marketing.
Excellent stuff. So, marketing is very, very important.
I feel like every chance you get, you're supposed to promote yourself, promote whatever you're selling. You know, if you want to be successful, you got to do it. You know, sometimes I get tired seeing my own stuff too. You know, and that's when you know you're actually working when you're tired of promoting your own brand. You're like, alright, I'm gonna give it the rest of the
Saturate the market.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're coming live. The topic for tonight is street lessons. I should have business lessons from the streets. And we've touched on a plethora of themes tonight, emanating from the famous Biggie song, 10 Commandments. And as we begin to wrap up our show, I want to touch quickly on criticism.
Mm-hmm.
How, as a businessman, how do you handle criticism, and how do you handle what people may consider to be haters or enemies when it comes to your business?
I know it's fun. Like people are entitled to their opinion, and it might take you a while to understand that. You know, everybody's not gonna like what you put out. Everybody can't be a fan of you. You understand? So, in my initial stages, like if somebody were to criticize me, I would respond. You know, I would set the record straight. But like over time, you understand business and you understand that people are entitled to criticize you. And I don't know, but I mastered just ignoring criticism. Like I hear what you said, but it won't affect me. You understand? So I get criticism every day. And most of the criticism comes from like somebody that wants to spot. You know what I mean? So they are supposed to feel that way. You know, when you get to criticize them, you're doing the right thing. So I look forward to the criticism sometimes. I learn from the criticism sometimes because if they make a bad comment and you say that Freedom don't get ice at the party, then I know, okay, we're gonna get ice next time, you understand? If they complain about the price of the party, you know, like, alright, this can't be the only person saying this. You know what I mean? This is just the only bold person. You understand? So criticism is something that I honestly look forward to more than the good comments, because I want to see like where some of these people might not. So, and sometimes when I get too comfortable, like criticism help me to get
Jump
back.
again.
Yeah, like,
I think that feedback is critical because as a promoter and as somebody at events, everything does not go
yeah,
as planned. No event goes 100% successful, and if your head is so far in the sky,
some events be flawless, boss.
some events are flawless, sure enough.
Flawless.
But it's important that you're somebody that people can approach to say, hey, I also
I honestly, I even criticize myself. I feel like I'm the biggest critic when it comes to myself because I would tell myself, you could have done better, you could have hired somebody different. And I talk to myself actually. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know this because they see me out socializing all the time, but 90% of the times I'm alone. You know what I mean? And I think about everything. I think about improving. I think about growth. I think about what I can do different, what else I could bring to the table, who I could bring on board, because you can't do it by yourself. You understand? So I be criticizing myself actually more than the people that would do it.
One thing that from listening to you speak, that is admirable, and I want you to share a bit more on it, is your desire to be innovative, not comfortable, because sometimes you enjoy a level of success and you just stay comfortable in that position. You don't want more, but there seems to be a desire to always get better, to always be bigger, to always, be innovative and come up with new concepts all the time.
Yeah, it's like why do it if you're not looking forward to grow? That's just how I look at it. Because I don't want to be the same freedom from last year. I want people to say, "Yo, we was at Drinks Like Soto this year, and we couldn't even move last year. It was nice, but this year." So there's always room for improvement, right? I think when you criticize yourself is the best critique because then you can hurt your own feelings. And if somebody tell you something that you already thought about, you know what I mean? It just works in your favor all the time.
I think for many business people watching and even young professionals, I want to emphasize the importance of not being comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially when you're successful.
Like it's easier to fail when you're successful. It's way easier. Like a failure for me right now would hurt me more than a failure would have hurt me 10 years ago. Yeah. Because I feel like when you're on a certain level, you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to do better. You're supposed to maintain, There's no way somebody should work 10 years to achieve something that, they can't maintain.
And then the thing about that success is that it may take you 10 years to reach that level.
Yeah.
But when you reach that level, 1 minute, one wrong post can ruin everything.
Speaking about wrong posts, I don't like that. I start writing things on Facebook. But before I post it, I read it 100 times. Make sure nobody's offended. That's why most of the jokes that I make is about me, my child, my woman, my granny. Right? So I ain't talking to nobody that I don't know or anybody out there that would be offended by anything I say.
Alright, so as we wrap up, I want to ask you to channel this piece of advice to the youth, the quote-unquote careful youth. What are some words of inspiration that you would offer to any young man watching that wants to get into business, but is fearful of what may happen, or they want to do something that is not the usual thing being done in Guyana? Because you mentioned that you went on a path that not many persons go down that part that the family necessarily want you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to those young people to overcome those fears and insecurities?
Firstly, I advise them to be themselves, right? When you're yourself, I think you find your purpose like way faster. Because if you're pretending to be somebody you're not, then you will never find your purpose. You will never know what you're actually good at. Everybody can be good at promoting parties. Everybody can be good at makeup. Everybody can be good at what else they doing on hookah. And so you gotta find, what you're good at and capitalize on that. So for the youths out there, just know that freedom came from where you come from, zero. But I've used my popularity because even when I was going to primary school, I was very popular. And I've used my popularity as a tool to make money. Right? So, there's a lot of youths in here that's very popular, but they don't know what to do with the popularity that they have. And I feel like there's endless opportunities to them, not even just being popular. Youth that's very talented, even if it's at sports, but they're not as dedicated because they feel like this won't put food on the table. But sometimes the talent that you're neglecting is what God gave to you to provide for yourself and your family. And it might not be something that your family is comfortable with, but this is your purpose that you keep ignoring over and over. So I encourage the youths to find their niche in anything that they're good at. If it's mechanics, if it's nursing, a lot of young people actually love kids. There's so much opportunities to open a daycare because I'm looking for a babysitter right now. But they gotta do it in such a way that, people admire that they have found a passion in something that is providing for them. Other than that, I just encourage them to stay focused and believe in themselves because nothing comes easy. There's always obstacles. There's always somebody that's going to feel like they're better than you. There's always people that's going to criticize everything that you do. But at the end of the day, none of these people is providing for you. You got to provide for yourself. Don't depend on mommy and daddy. Let mommy and daddy struggle, motivate you to be a better person, a better father, a better friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. In general. So that's just my advice to the youth that's watching. Big up everybody that's watching. Thanks for having me on this program this week. And I'm speaking to you from the bottom of my heart. But my whole heart. Understand? Because I know what the struggles are like. Everybody can't be as fortunate as me. Everybody can figure it out like me. And that's also a message that I have for them, that figuring it out might take a while, but when you do, just live your best.
Beautiful. I want to thank everyone that would have tuned in tonight. I think we had a really, really great session. I want to thank you, Marlon, for coming through and spitting game and wisdom to our young people and everybody that is watching. And I want to encourage you guys to stay tuned in on What Moses' Facebook page, Yoshua's Guyana, YouTube and Facebook, as well as Common Sense on Anchor FM, Spotify, digital phone app for more Common Sense content, and also check out our IG page for all of our reels and other videos to help you along your life path when it comes to finances and managing your business. And I want to encourage you guys to have a wonderful rest of the evening, and don't forget to use your common sense.